All right. Hey. Well, first off, that was awesome, right?
Hello. Yeah.
We don't know what it was, but I'm just assuming it was because Neil sounded like a nice guy when we heard him. I would like to tell you guys about some weird industry quirks of YouTube. So, for example, we watch TV and people watch us watch TV. But after you come home from work and you want to complain about your job like everyone does, even though our job is awesome, there's no one really to complain to. So we've met other YouTubers like us, and we get to complain with them and say things like, bro, man, I had to watch like 8 hours of TV, and like I fell asleep so many times.
And bro, I had to like watch anime about like these girls that love this one guy, and how this one guy is love the other girl. And I don't know, my reactions weren't up to par with that. Like you said, I got smashed in the comments.
He didn't like it, and the fans didn't like it that he didn't like it.
When you like, hope your fans will like something of yours and what you put out there, they don't.
Yeah.
And when you complain about that, fans don't like that, but other people, at least acknowledge, hey, it's a real problem.
So I guess what I'm saying is that we're big time YouTubers who get our feelings hurt very often and need somebody to vent.
Yeah. So like the thing with YouTube that people don't realize is that putting yourself in front of a lot of people, you don't realize when you're doing it, but when it happens, it like the feedback isn't always what you want, and it's the scary part. You're not just like putting yourself out there for like it's the people that are in front of you. You're putting it out for the whole entire world.
Yeah, and the whole entire world sometimes tends to be a little bit mean, but on that exact opposite, sometimes they're actually pushing you to do better. People can see the potential in you, and they're like, hey, listen here, I don't like the thing that you're doing, but if you change like 2 or 3 of these things, it could be really good. And then you're upset about it for a week, but then you change those 2 or 3 things.
And actually, those fans are, I believe, your lifelong supporters. At least for one of us, who was one of our biggest critics, and it was actually one of our trolls that ended up becoming our lifelong supporters. So they actually become one of your lifelong supporters.
Yeah, there's just weird quirks like there are in indie industries. There's just not a lot of conferences where us YouTube nerds can get together and hang out and talk about the new cameras that just dropped. And oh my god, you guys see what they did to the comment system?
So it's not like every day where we get to have like complaints about watching TV, even though that's not that hard, But
hey. I have a question for you both of you. So when you guys do something new, and you guys tell me like, hey, I'm a YouTuber, I work at YouTube.
I'll tell you right.
You work in that industry. They automatically think you're some rich big boss, whatever. Like how?
Well, we are the second largest YouTube channel in Indiana, only beaten out by the GOAT himself, John Green. Read The Fault in Our Stars. It's a really good book. But I just tell people, I'm like, yeah, so like, I don't like a YouTube company with my friends. And I'm like, oh, that sounds nice. And then they ask me like our subscriber count. I'm like, it's like 400 or something thousand. Like, oh, so you're an influencer.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't influence anybody, really.
I cannot influence them.
I mean, I think technically you might call me that. I don't have influence.
I don't know how to influence. I just watch the TV, tell you my thoughts. It's like good or not. Hey, if you like it.
For your thoughts.
But it's been a crazy time, this YouTube thing. I would never imagined it. We started this thing 6 years ago. And now we're here.
And now we're even hosting Design Week.
Yeah. Right? Who were that? We have an opportunity to actually have seen it, man.
Yeah, our whole entire career trajectory is just, who knows, very opaque. Could be anything.
Yeah, man.
Well, I think last year, did we also, were in a competition against, like, a Forbes, trying to get.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we went to Forbes for a little bit. That was dope. We got a TV show off.
We got invited to LA for a Patreon convention.
That was cool.
I think the biggest hurdle that most other YouTubers and also probably people who started their own businesses in general would understand is explaining it to your parents.
Yes.
So my parents definitely wanted me to become like a lawyer, a doctor.
Yep.
And then when I told them, hey, Mom, guess what? I'm watching TV and I'm getting paid for it. She was like, what? I was like,
did she actually believe you though?
No, man, she didn't believe me. And then like, we had that one, was it the parents, we had that whole dinner or whatever, we invited all.
Yeah, it was a small get together full of our parents to invite them to the studio to show them that we actually were real.
The shock on my mom's face when she saw the studio, it was great. It was like years of like, told you so, Mom.
Was it because of the mess or because how beautiful the studio was?
No, it was because of how beautiful the studio was. She didn't expect like when I told her I was sitting there watching TV for them, she thought I was just sitting at home with like a camera and like you know what I mean?
Like a bag of chips.
Yeah, a bag of chips. She's doing it.
Dirty T-shirt.
Oh yeah, she didn't think that we had like a whole like a setup, studio, like like expensive camera.
What about the actual bag of chips that we have at the studio and the actual dirty T-shirts? Pat, how did your parents respond when
Honestly,
you told them?
when I told my parents that, well, first off, I was quitting a full-time job to come and do this. And my parents were like, first off, in your past life, you made a lot of bad decisions.
Oh, your past life.
Say something like that.
And like, you know, they're like, you made a lot of bad decisions. You sure you want to jump onto this? And I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. And they're like, is there any money in it? And I'm like, I mean, through my friends at the full time, they're, you know, they're doing pretty well. And they're like, well, is it going to be the same amount of, you know, whatever you're making or else we're going to subscribe? I'm like, no, but we'll get there. They still don't, honestly, still to this day, me doing this for like a year and a half, I don't think they fully understand how we make money or how our business operates. I try to explain it to them, but it just goes over their head. I haven't got a chance to bring them to the studio like the rest of them did. But I think if they would have saw the studio, they may have changed their mind a little bit.
Yeah.
But
they changed things. They're like, what?
My mom was cool. My mom and dad both got, but my grandma was really worried. She was, because, you know, she's very old school. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be doing that. She's like, okay, but is it legal? And I was like,
it's legal.
I don't know. I think so. I'm like, pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe. You asked me. I assumed it was. I need to go double check on it. She freaked me out for a second. But obviously it's legal. Obviously everything's good. So.
Now, would we tell you guys to go do it? I don't know.
It depends.
I'll be honest with you right now. YouTube is a crazy game. It is very, very saturated. Ooh,
yes.
So saturated. But I feel like, you know, if you have a good enough niche and you play your cards right, who knows? Anything can happen, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit of luck and being viral and having something new, you can go a long way with it, in my opinion.
Also be consistent. Like,
yeah.
Just be consistent with it. Like, I feel like a lot of YouTubers will start off and they don't see that immediate success or they don't see the views that they want. Yeah. And they just give up. But the problem is, I think we went through the same things. When we started off, we didn't get to see the views that we wanted. But being consistent.
I would say that we did.
Well, no. Well, how about this? Even when we try to launch something new, now with the size that we have, we don't see the views.
Yeah, like for our skits, essentially.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah, for our skits. We don't. In the beginning, I would say we got a little bit more lucky because of the 4chan. I'm not gonna lie, we got viral pretty quick, and it was. For the beginning numbers that we got for the amount of views and videos that we did with the quality, it was surprising.
So I think the other thing too is learning how to rate your success on any platform. So let's say that you have an Instagram page that only has 50 people on it. If you're able to garner those 50 people into being 50 loyal either customers or fans or part of a community that you're trying to start, that's successful. There's different levels of success throughout the whole entire thing. So I mean, I know of plenty of YouTube channels that have been around for a fraction of the time that we've been around, and they already have millions of subscribers. But their kind of success is different rated from our kind of success. So, should you start a YouTube channel? That'll be something we'll be getting into tomorrow, actually. You guys are going to want to stick around for that. And now that we've got our proper app workout on, I think we're going to bounce.
So, anything else, or do we go?
No, I think we're just going to walk off the stage now.
All right, y'all. Well,
see you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye-bye.
This was just a trick. I was trying to get rid of those guys. Now it's all me.